Look at this. So, Monday morning, fully clear workshop. We've got a plan set out. So, this job's hard enough to plan when you know what's going on. It's not like a normal garage where you've got a clutch in, a service in, and a cam belt in. You can just sort of know how much they're going to take, how long they're going to take. So, we have to work on the unknown. But we've started doing it that we know what car's going to work on. We work that out in the morning. That's going to be Barney's. That one's going to be mine. And we're going to look at that. Anything what's left over, we actually have it set out for the day. We know who's going to be doing what. By the time they're coming in a second time, we know whether it's one I've got to look at, one Barney can just put back together, or do a bit more testing on or whatever. So yeah, we're making these type of plans. We've got the E28 here, you know, that's booked in for Wednesday afternoon. So that'll be one. I know when I'm going to be working on that. So we're not every time we finish a job, go and look outside, oh, what we got, what we're going to do. So yeah, so we've got it all listed down, got our weekly plan set out. Let's get into the week, see how we get on. Look at this, 2010 RS6. She's a beauty. In fact, let me show you this, see if you can see anything different on this. Something not quite right on this one, tell me what it is. Right, so this car's been presented to us with an adaptive headlight fault and a suspension fault, suspension damping fault. So the customer's already changed the level sensor. That lasted a little while. Then the light came back on, so he's changed the level control module, headlight level and control module. And now he needs to find out what's going on, why it keeps coming on, etc. But it's permanent code. Let's have a look. Okay, so in wheel damping, we've got open or short to plus, front right level control sensor. So that's going to be front, obviously your front level sensor. Let's have a look in headlight range. It's got 3 faults in that one. Right, so the control module, which is already changed, isn't coded to the car. It's had no basic settings or adaptations done. And we've got open or short for the front level sensor. So it looks like we've got 1 fault. What we're going to do is put the original control module back in it, see if these 2 clear, and see if we've just got the level sensor fault on there. Let's go from there.
Welcome back to our regularly scheduled show. We've got a Peugeot partner. It's come in with a fan fault. The customer stated that when you turn the engine off and the fan's been running, it doesn't stop until the battery goes flat. So I did confirm the customer complaint, made sure that that is actually what happened. And yeah, it just keeps going and going and going. So I disconnected the battery, made it stop. We've got a couple of codes in there, so I'm going to take you around to the scanner and show you what we got. We got one for outside air temperature sensor and glow plug fault. So both of them can set the fan off. So we're going to find out which one it is, rule it out, and yeah, I'll take you around to the scanner and I'm going to show you the testing procedure for this one. Right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We got a fault in the BSI for outside air temperature sensor. So what we're going to do to find out which one it's going to be, either the glow plugs or the outside air temp, because it's going to be one of them 2 things. What I'm going to do is go into the BSI on the scanner, deactivate the outside air temperature sensor, run it up a little bit and see if the fan kicks on. If the fan doesn't kick on, we know it's this. If it does kick on, we know we've still got a fault somewhere else, so we'll have to do more testing. So I'm going to do it now, live on camera. So here we go. External temperature sensor present. We're going to make that absent. Configure. There we go. It's absent now. So we're going to start it up, run it up, give it a few light revs, because last time it'd come on after 2-3 revs and literally about 5 seconds. We'll go around to the front. Right, so back round the front, we've revved it up, run it up for a minute, and the fan shouldn't be on. And there you go. So that shows that we've got a fault with the outside air temperature sensor, and that's what caused and that's what's causing the fan to kick on and stay on. So now we're going to go to the outside air temperature sensor, make sure we got what we need, run some tests on it, and see what it tells us.
Right, so we've put the original headlight range control unit in. Right, so the coding faults have gone, so we're still back just to the level sensor. So we know it's not down to the module. Let's start doing some testing. So this is a bit of a weird one. We've had a look into it, jacked it up, and it's got no real level sensor on it. So we look the other side. We've got a level sensor on the left hand side. So apparently it's got a right hand level sensor fault, and it doesn't have one down there. It's got no wire in there, it's got no arms there. The part where it bolts on is just not there. And the light was off when he bought it, so it's not as if somebody's removed it or anything like that. So yeah, not really sure what's going on there. So but yeah, it's a bit confusing. So I've disconnected that sensor, the other side, and it still says right hand side sensor. In the headlight leveling, it just says front sensor. In the adaptive, it says front right, but it hasn't got one on the front right. So we're going to check for the diagrams, see what that says. Right, so as you can see, we've got two different types of suspension on this. So we've got adaptive suspension from 2006. And on this, it shows 4 strut valves, which apparently this has got, and 4 level sensors. We don't have 4 level sensors, we've only got the one. So we come out of that and went back into the other suspension that's set up, which was down here. So automatic electronic for the RS6, which I've got. So yeah, if you go into RS6, it just has front left shock absorber, damper and adjustment valve, but that has 5 wires going to it. So what we're going to do, we're going to disconnect the left hand side one, see if we get the same sort of code up, and then we'll see whether we're going down the wrong route or what's going on. So right, let's go and have a quick check over, see what's going on with these. Right, bit of progress on it. We've just connected up that front left-hand height adjuster. That code's cleared in the adaptive lights. No lights on, no nothing. So possibly a bad connection on that. Still got the code for the right-hand side height sensor, or whatever it's called. Let us go into it now. So front right level control sensor. So we know we've got a fault on this side. So it says I've disconnected the shock the other side, damper, whatever you want to call it, disconnected that, and that's come up with front left level control sensor. So it looks like the sensors are actually built into the shock, not that level control. Because we've got 2 faults and the customer's already played with it and they're telling us, oh yeah, it's this, it's that, it's that, sort of throwing us down the other direction. So we sort of know that we've got a fault on this side. Luckily, because we've got the other side off, it's all jacked up, wheels are off. We can check what we've got on that one, check what we've got on this side, and see what's happening. So, we're just going to do a quick check. So we've got a Carlos Fandango camera thingamajig. I haven't even got a torch in this. Look how bright it is. That's all coming from there. So, I'm going to do a quick check on these pins, see what we got. So we've got an earth, 2.2 volts, earth, 1.5 or 2 volts, and a dead wire. So pin 5 is completely dead. I'm just going to check the other side, see if that's meant to be like that, and do we need to get the control module out and test backwards, or have we got wiring fault in where it flexes. So we've got an earth, 4.9, earth, 5 volt. So this number 4 was about 2 volts the other side. This is 5. And the one that was dead has got an earth to it. So we've got an issue on this pin on the other side.
Hello everybody, welcome back. So this is the plug for the outside air temperature sensor. It is actually in the bottom of the wing mirror, just down there. So what we've done is we've pulled it. We're going to test that we've got our live and earth. It should have about 5 volt and should have 5 volt and a single earth in there. So there's the earth. And there's no live on it, so that changes the ball game slightly. So I've got the wiring diagram up for the sensor. This is the outside air temp, and it goes all the way back up to the BSI. So what I'm going to do is go over to the BSI, get it all stripped out, and we're going to test the live and earth at the BSI, because if we've got live and earth there and not live and earth down there, just earth, which means we're going to have a broken wire somewhere between the BSI and the sensor. So these are 2 wires we're going to be testing. So it actually took us about 5 minutes to work out what plug BA was, because it's not listed as BA on the BSI. So we had to get another diagram up. This is the BSI unit. BA is that plug there. But just to make sure that we had it right, we came over to another pin out diagram. So the BA is actually EH1. So we're looking at pin 8 and pin 18, there we go. So we're going to go to the BSI, test our live and earth from there. So that there is that little brown plug there is the one we're looking at. That white wire and the green one next to it, this one here, are the ones we're testing. So that's the earth. And I don't know if you can see on there, but we've got 4.6 volt. Right, so that means we've got a broken wire between the BSI and the sensor itself. So we're going to look at the most likely place it's going to be, which is where the door crease is, where the loom comes from the door into the car. We're going to have a look there first. If it's not there, we're going to cry ourselves to sleep at night, because it can be anywhere. Right, as guessed. That is the wire for the outside temperature sensor, and it's broken off inside the door, so we're going to have to get that bit of trunking off, do the repair, put it all back together. Job's a carrot. So I'm going to repair that, and I'll come back to you when it is done. So as you can see, that wire there's my repair. What I've done, I've run a new length of cable all the way through that little trunk in there, soldered it all back up, and I know it's working without even starting it up and running it up, because is it going to work? There we go. We know it's working because we've now got the temperature on the dash, so I don't even need to run it up, but I'm going to anyway. Give it a couple of revs. At which point last time the fan would be on by now. So let's have a look. There we go. We've got no fan on. So that one's all done. I've just got to put it all back together. The door card's back on. That one's done. Job's a carrot.
So I think it's going to be a wiring fault. Well, it's definitely going to be a wire. It's either going to be the module or the wiring. But the chance of it being a module, which is behind the glove box, all the wiring through, I would think it's going to be on this flexing wiring. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a quick visual check on that wiring. If it could be broken inside, internally, so once we've done that, what we can do is put our meter on there and just move the wire in slowly, see if we're getting different readings. But let's give it a quick visual inspection and take it from there. Well, look at this. Right, so we've got this wire in here, comes all the way down and around, then around to this sensor. Down here, it's actually better with no light on it. Look at that, all rubbed through. I would say, possibly rubbed on the CV gator. So, that is what we're going to need to address. So yeah, looks a bit confusing. It was a bit confusing because we had two faults. Left-hand sensor, right-hand sensor, front sensor. But again, customer's sort of thrown a curveball saying that he's changed the leveling sensor module and changed the level sensor, stuff like that. Yeah, we should have done it the way we would have done it normally. But we did have two faults. So we've disconnected that sensor, connected it back up, that fault's cleared. We know we've got some wiring faults on this. So we'll speak to the customer, see if he wants us to do it. He is a trade customer, or whether he's going to buy a new loom and cut that all in. So I think we're done. So I've been to the customer about this RS6. He's happy to carry on repairs. He's going to look up to see if they do a repair loom, which I'm sure they do. We can't get a good enough repair where it's actually broken. It's on a flex, so that's not going to work. So yeah, we're done with it. Going to get back together, get it out, go on to the next one. Ain't been about a couple of days, got quite a few things, quite a few little jobs done. We've got this one back in tomorrow afternoon. This one, we've fitted an inline controller what converts the temperature sensor on the engine to, which is a modern engine, to whatever dash we've got in there. We've got all that wired in, but there is some sort of configuration. You have to tell it what range the sensor's in and then what range the dial is in. So we're going to try and work through that one tomorrow. We have got this traffic sporting. It's been to another garage for a load of work, and now it's got hill start assist fault with a clutch pedal switch or a neutral switch or something. So there's that one. So thanks so much for watching. If you can leave the old that'd be beautiful. And if you haven't subscribed, maybe consider doing it before you leave. Ta-da!